The Federal Reserve recently discontinued updating the M1 and M2 weekly money supply series and is instead updating the series on a monthly basis. Steve Hank, professor of applied economics of Johns Hopkins University, said that this change reflects a change in attitude from the world's largest central bank on the importance of looking at money supply. While talking about the Fed hiding the data, Steve says that they have been publishing various monetary statistics and statistical series since 1971, the so-called M1, M2, M3, and so forth. But they have changed the definitions and the frequency with which they report them, and they have discontinued some series also. The money supply determines the course of nominal GDP, and nominal GDP includes real growth and the inflation rate. That's what makes up the nominal GDP. The key thing is you have to measure the money supply correctly. You have got to get the correct measure on your dashboard or you have got a big problem. Now, if you look at the normal measure of the money supply, whether it's M1 or M2, those are called simple sum indexes. In other words, you have various components and you just add those 9 components up, and that's a simple sum, which gives you the total M2. There are basically 9 components in M2, but each one of those has a different degree of moneyness in it. In other words, currency gets a 100% weight because you can use it immediately for a transaction. A checking account is also an M2, and that also gets a 100% weight. But other things that are in the components, the other components get less than 100% weight. That weight changes around depending primarily on the interest rate. As a result of the high interest rate, the division measure of M2 actually went negative in the early 80s, and that would have been the proper measure. That would have been the right thing to have on your dashboard. Unfortunately, the Fed wasn't producing it and Volcker didn't have it. So Volcker thought he was not squeezing it excessively. He thought he was right on a money at squeezing things down to about 7% M2 growth with a simple sum Fed number, but the real number was negative, and that's why we had these 2 recessions. As per Steve, explaining the change in monetary policy, Steve said that Chairman Paul very explicitly claims that money and the measurement of money doesn't really matter because it's unrelated to the inflation, and that is incorrect. M2 is the broadest measure that they are reporting at the Fed now. If you measure broadly at M3 or M4, that what Paul said is not correct. If you measure everything that has moneyness in it, all they are actually M4. What measuring M4 division has 14 measures in it, including treasury bills, are even included as the last component. Now they get a lot less weight in the Devici index than does something like currency or checking deposit. But they still get weight, and there are a lot of treasury bills out there. So even if you are weighing them lightly, the total amount adds up to be a big number. It's a little bit fishy. Maybe the Federal Reserve is trying to hide something. What they are trying to hide something, they have changed the reporting frequency on M2 to monthly now and not weekly. So they don't want people paying attention to the money supply growth. And the reason why is that in principle, they don't think it's important. They want to deep six the monetarist basically and push them off to the side. Their preference would be to not report any monetary statistics now. If you measure it broadly correctly, you get a very nice relationship between the growth of broad money measured by division M4 and the growth and nominal GDP. They don't want people looking at these money supply numbers. When people have these numbers and they see them going up, in most people's mind, the money supply is exploded and we can expect a lot more inflation going forward. Now the Fed wants to control inflation expectations, what people think about inflation, and the best way to control that is just take these numbers off the wall. Get rid of these. That's the name of the game. It's all to control monetary inflation expectations. And if you don't report monetary statistics on a frequent basis and have it as a headline kind of number, people have got to hunt around, almost be an expert to figure out what in the world's going on or go up to the Center for Financial Stability in New York and get the number. So this is basically to dampen down. They don't want to get the public excited about inflation. So there have been a couple of big changes recently. And this is trying to deep six monetarism, deep six the importance of money control inflation expectations. All these things are all wrapped up in one. So they are trying to get rid of monetarism. They want you to start looking at things like interest rates, for example. But interest rates are very misleading indicator of the monetary policy. Let's say that we are tightening monetary policy. Now what happens first is that the Fed says that they are going to tighten monetary policy. Enter it short term. Interest rates go up. The money supply starts dropping and inflation starts dropping because nominal GDP is dropping. And then on a sustained basis, what happens to interest rates? They go down when the money supply goes down. Inflation goes down and sustained long-term interest rates go down, not up. So that's why you get a confusing signal. Now if you are loosening, you get exactly the opposite happening. Interest rates in the short term temporarily go down. The money supply goes up, inflation goes up. And on a sustained long-term basis, what happens to interest rates? The answer is they go up, they don't go down. At the end, Steve says that we are in a loosening period. The money supply is skyrocketing. What that means is the interest rates went down. Now the money supply key is bubbling along, crackling along at other division. M4 over 28% per annum, which is the greatest expansion since 1943. Inflation starts going up, interest rates starts going up. That's why the bond market's going wild. Long-term interest rates are going up. So that's one reason that they don't want you looking at money. The CPI now in the United States is going up at 1.7 per annum. But the core inflation number, excluding volatile food and energy prices, is only going up at 1.3%. Overall, it's a very fuzzy kind of notion. The best thing is to go back to the money supply. So guys, if you found this video really informative, then please make sure press the like button, comment your thoughts in the comment section below. Also make sure to subscribe to our channel for more such videos. I'll catch you in my next video. Till then, have a great day.